Welcome back, everyone. Joe with Forged here with our third installment of the shop drag car documentary. So with this one, we're going to talk about the Lexan that we put in the car. We decided to do Lexan pretty early on. We knew we were going to do it on the side windows for sure. But once we had the front windshield crack on the way out to doing the cage installation, we just decided to do the entire car with Lexan, simply due to the cost. Really, the cost to replace the factory GTR windshield, I was able to put Lexan in the entire car. So we decided to go ahead and do that. We had to put our own frames in the car, so we had to basically bend it up, and I'll show you guys here in a second what was all involved in doing that. And we had to solicit a company actually from outside the United States. We were turned on to it by Rob Harper from Alpha Logic. They were using a company called Plastics for Performance in the UK. And after reaching out to them and seeing their products, they're, at least in my experience and what I've seen out there, they're the best ones out there. It almost looks like factory glass from the outside, and you'll see that as we walk around the car. So without further ado, let's take a look. Alright guys, let's start off with the windshield. The fit and finish of this product is some of the best I've seen on a race car. The curvature is perfect, it fits all the edges perfect. They even go as far as to put the little dotted black border around the edge. They leave the labels, the VIN tags exposed. If you didn't know this wasn't glass, looking at it at first, you'd be fooled. And you can kind of see how we decided to brace the front windshield from the outside here. So I know a lot of guys are just doing the single brace, but I decided to put two of them evenly spaced on the front of the car. Very similar to some of the other designs I've seen out there. It's braced to the cage down below through the vents there, and then up to the top halo bar as well. And when you push on the center of the glass, you can see there's a little bit of flex there, but as you come over to the braces, that thing is just as solid as what the glass would have been. Let's move around to the back, and then I'll show you guys the side, because that's what took the most time to get right on this car. The back glass fits just like the front glass. The curvature is perfect. It seals up just like OEM. And the way we decided to brace this is like I've seen other cars do it. A single brace down the center that is triangulated and then goes back to the X brace on the back of the cage with a little Heim joint to adjust everything. So that's how we decided to do the back. It's also screwed in place so we don't have to worry about it blowing out. We're not sure. I might add some rivets around the edge, but I don't think that's something that we're going to have to do. Moving around to the side, the rear quarter glass is just a little bit undersized, and you can see here it doesn't have the weather strip that's normally there on the GTR. So what we decided to do was just add that silicone sealant that comes with the installation kit. Again, I don't believe that we're going to have to rivet this thing in here, but we might go ahead and decide to do that. And then finally, the side glass. This is what took us the most amount of time. I probably have 8 hours per frame in this. Just again, this is something I had never done before. And really the challenging part of this was bending this window frame. So the way we did it was we used the OEM glass and hand bent that rod to the curvature of the glass. Hopefully you're picking that up there. And fit it all the way around. And then we braced it on the upper door frame. And then what I did was add two Heim joints here. So there's some adjustability in being able to pull basically the tension of the glass into the body of the car so I can get a good seal. I also have some upper door latches to install here if it becomes a problem and we notice that the windows are getting sucked out as we go down the track. But we aren't going to put them in unless we need them. The other thing that we did with these is made them to be able to be removable. So if we ever want to just cruise this down to Cars and Coffee or whatnot, we can unbolt it here in the front and the back, and that whole glass piece will slide out. And lastly, I'll show you guys what this looks like from the inside on the windshield. Curved to fit. You can't really see where the tubes go down to the cage there. Maybe you can pick that up on the camera. That tube is braced to the front part of the crossbar in the cage. It goes across to the other side of the car. And then upstairs here, we also have it heim jointed, so we could adjust the tension of the frame and the tension on the front windshield as we saw fit. So basically allowed us to do a little bit of fudging on the links so we could get the tension on the glass done properly. So you guys are probably wondering, how much weight did the Lexan actually save? We weighed everything, and it was about a 50% weight savings, or it was roughly 42 pounds lighter than the factory glass was. Now, we did add a little bit of weight back in for the window frames and whatnot, but each one of those window frames was no more than 1.5 pounds. I think the heaviest one was the doors at 1.5 pounds. The front ones were just right at 3/4 of a pound. So we didn't add that much weight back in, and when we do a tour later on of how we lighten the doors and some of the other things on the car, you'll see that the weight savings added up, and it was well worth the investment. Until the next video, see you next time.